Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to welcome our witnesses, but comment on the absence of Secretary Napolitano. This is the committee with primary jurisdiction over the Department of Homeland Security. She is the Secretary of Homeland Security. She is in Washington, D.C. She was invited to testify at this very important hearing, and she should have been here under Secretary Lute. I understand that you are prepared and you had accepted our invitation, but I'm very personally disappointed that she isn't here. I also want to note for the record that I was briefed following the Christmas bomb plot. Within a few days, I was first in my district, and then I was on a family vacation, but Secretary Napolitano did call me after she spoke to the chairman. I'm quite aware that she had spoken to him. And I also exchanged emails and had numerous calls with Mr. Leiter, who was first in Washington, D.C. during the events and then subsequently on a short family vacation himself. I know he was hard at work.
Can you just yield for 2 seconds? Just to say nobody on this side received those briefings, which I think is wrong. It's always been bipartisan.
I agree with you, Mr. King, that there should be bipartisan briefings. You know that I agree with that. Also want to note that in recent years there have been many intelligence community successes. The Zazi plot, the Headley plot, and others are examples of success, and there have been many intelligence community sacrifices, particularly the loss recently of 7 CIA personnel at Forward Operating Base Chapman in Afghanistan. Obviously, all of us know this and want to salute again today the hardworking women and men of the intelligence community. But despite all those successes and the risks that they take, the Christmas Day problem does represent a failure. 2 of you, Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Leiter, have stepped up and taken responsibility, as has Mr. Brennan, and I applaud you for doing that. But doing better, and I applaud the fact that you have all pledged that you will do better. Doing better is not optional. 100% security can never be achieved, but surely we can do better. And at least to me, listening to all of this and based on my long experience with the Intelligence Reform Act and other efforts to try to do better, I think that doing better is not about laundry lists, it's about leadership. Only through leadership will our system of layered security become more agile and responsive. Let's understand that the enemy that is seeking to harm us is agile and responsive. And whatever it is that we now decide to do, they will try to figure out a way to get around it. So our system of collection, analysis, visa approval, watch listing, and other things should get better, but only through strong leadership will that better system stay agile and responsive. And let me just add one thing at the tag end, and this I commend the Department of Homeland Security for doing very well, and that is preparing, not scaring the public. There's a new tone, I applaud it, and let's remember that the successful layer of security on Christmas Day was a prepared public on that airplane. So, finally, let me make one other point. There is testimony submitted for the record of this hearing by the ACLU, and I've read that testimony, and I think it's extremely thoughtful. It reminds me that one piece of unfinished business since the Intelligence Reform Act of 2004 is the formation of a Privacy and Civil Liberties Commission that was supposed to oversee new practices to keep our country safer. I wrote a letter to the President in October with Senator Susan Collins of Maine, and the White House has never responded to our letter, and so far as I know, nothing has been done. I think that this is unfortunate and will prevent us from assuring the public that we're enacting better practices consistent with our Constitution. But my one question, because time is running out, is to each of you: what are you personally going to do to assert better leadership in the near and medium term to make certain that the people under your supervision remain agile and responsive against an evolving threat by a learning organization?